Hi, I'm Jill Ferris. This is Cooking for Bachelors. Today's show is going to be the ravioli show. That's right, we're going to make our own raviolis, and we're going to make three kinds today. We're going to make a mushroom ravioli, a ricotta cheese ravioli, and a sweet potato ravioli. They'll each have their own sauce, so let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is I've already started to saute these shiitake mushrooms in butter and oil, just a little bit of butter so that the oil doesn't get so absorbed into the mushrooms. Actually, the butter just joins it and makes it nice and moist. Okay, and I'm going to add a little salt and pepper. And it's going to be very simple. We really don't need to make it very complicated. Okay, I'd like to put some red wine in this mushroom sauce. What I'm going to do first is take some of the mushrooms out and put it in this small blender here. It's a mini Cuisinart. I'm going to put about half of this in here, and we'll mix it with some ricotta cheese. Okay, and we're going to take this delicious ricotta cheese, or ricotta cheese, however you say. And this is from Salvatore and Brooklyn. Salvatore, they make their own. It's handmade. We actually made a cheesecake earlier with this, and it's so amazing. So I'm going to mix this. I'm going to blend this first. Blend this down. That was fast. Yeah, I think that's good. So this is just chopped up mushrooms. That's all it is, sauteed in olive oil and butter, with a little salt and pepper. And I'm going to mix it with ricotta cheese. It's about 1/3 cheese to 2 parts mushroom. You really want to get that mushroom flavor out in there. And there was also a little garlic in the pan, so that it has that nice garlicky, nice flavor. I'm going to taste this because I tasted it as mushroom, but when you add the cheese, it kind of sort of dilutes it a little bit. So let's see if it has enough salt and pepper. No, it does not, so we're going to add it. Salt and pepper. Candy peppermill, always giving me what it feels like giving me. Oof. Okay, now this will be our filling. Now, what you do is you take gyoza skins and you lay them out. I'm going to make 3, so I'm going to lay out 3. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little dollop of the mushroom in each of these raviolis. And you don't want too much, because if you overstuff them, they will start breaking apart when you cook them. So you just want, like, it's a heaping half a teaspoon, or that's about it, okay? All right, and then you put them, and then you wet your fingers. So I have a little water bowl here to wet my fingers, and you just wet the rim. Some people use egg, some people use egg whites to brush it, but it's easier and faster. Then I take the second one, and I just run my finger around the edge, then put it on top of this. Then you pick up, and you want to press it. You don't have to pick it up in the air. I'm picking it up for you. And you press it all the way around. I do like to press both sides. Instead of pressing just down, I like to press both sides, and you press it all the way around till it joins. And with the water there, it will join. And be very careful. Cracks and openings will kind of splatter when you put them in boiling water. You want to work quickly, because these do dry out quickly, right? The edges will become brittle. So you lay out a certain amount at a time. You don't want to lay out like 20 of them, making 20 ravioli. This is not fresh pasta. I mean, it's fresh pasta, but it's a little bit finer, and it's floured already both sides. So you have to work quickly. You know, when you make ravioli with fresh pasta, you lay it out on a sheet, and then you just cut it, you know, and everything, and it seals it that way. This way you don't have to make your own pasta. You don't have to have a pasta maker. This is perfectly acceptable fresh food. Just make sure it's sealed all the way. Now you can cook these right away, as is, or you can also freeze them for future use. I mean, if you're making the investment in doing all this work, it's nice to be able to save it for later. So we'll make our third one. And don't hesitate to re-wet your hands. Just make sure that it's absolutely sealed, that you don't see any openings. And go all the way around. Check it if you have to. You don't want any bursting. If it doesn't line up exactly, that's fine, as long as it's sealed. Just check it again. I'm checking it. Okay, I'm going to put these on the plate, and here are my mushroom raviolis. And we're just going to work up our mushroom sauce a little by just adding some red wine. So we've cooked it in butter and olive oil and salt and pepper. And we're just going to reduce that. Now, I haven't made a lot of sauce because I'm only demonstrating a few raviolis here. And this is about all you really want if you're cooking for yourself, is 3. If you're cooking it as a side dish. If you're cooking it as a main dish, you might want to eat 4 or 5. But this is very rich food. Okay, so this is just going to reduce a few minutes. And you can use any nice wine that you would drink, any wine that you would drink with this meal. Actually cook it. So let's let that reduce down. Okay, so we've already plated a couple of our raviolis here. The mushroom ravioli, what I did was, I have to just tell you off camera, I added a little stock to that wine and mushroom sauce, and we put the mushroom raviolis in here. I made a pomodoro sauce, which you see in the pomodoro video. It's just garlic, olive oil, a little tomatoes crushed, canned tomatoes crushed by my hand, and basil, salt and pepper. Now this is the way you cook the raviolis. You want very little water. This is not a big boiling pot. It's just about 1.5 inches of shallow water, and you take each one out individually. This is not something you want to shake in a strainer because it'll come apart. So you try to use a slotted spoon, and you try to shake as much water off as possible, and you put it directly into your sauce. In this case, we have a brown butter, which is really just cooked butter till it starts brown. Yes, folks, that's it. So because there has like water content, you really need to put it directly into a sauce. And we've got just a little bit of butter sauce here, the tomato sauce with the ricotta cheese, and the mushroom with the mushroom. By the way, I forgot to say, this is a vegetarian meal. These are all vegetarian, okay? I use a little stock in here. You can use vegetable. If you want to use chicken stock, fine. And we're just gonna garnish it with a little bit of cheese and some parsley.